In the sleepy hollow of Grahamstown, these words ring truer than any resident realizes. Crime is endemic in this small city in the Eastern Cape as a result of its high levels of poverty. With the inefficiency of the South African police across the country, private
I'd say people do phone us because we're we're quick to get to places. We're normally there if we try our best within traffic and rules and things like that. We'll be there within 5 to 7 minutes max.
However, beneath the surface lies a different side of the story, one that is widely known but rarely spoken about. During our investigation, we heard that Hi-Tec often assaults perpetrators unnecessarily, as no other deterrent exists.
I wanted to take his one hand to cuff him. He had a knife like this that was hiding underneath the laptop. And as he was down like this, he tried to stab me in my leg here. And luckily my partner saw it and he fucking stepped on his hand. And he released the knife, and when I saw that, I just hit blank and I fucking started kicking the crap out of this thing. I'm not gonna lie, we still fucked him up. We still do. Like in the proper way. I don't know how to explain it to you. There's no proper way. There's no deterrent. It doesn't matter what you do. They will always come back.
We speak to Professor Pithouse, who explains the contradiction of being opposed to violence, yet implicitly subscribing to it.
I've met lots of people who say they're pacifists or they don't believe in violence, but I've never met anyone who sincerely thinks that there are no circumstances in which violence should be used. Mostly people want to outsource it, and they think that means that they are not committed to violence or they're opposed to violence, but they're just outsourcing it.
Many residents are reluctant to go on camera and condemn the violence because they rely on the same violence to keep them safe.
I don't want to be seen on camera. The reason for that is that I want to protect Hi-Tec because they are the only people that are protecting us. They are faster than the police. At one stage, I saw 3 guys that want to break in Thompson Street, and we phoned Hi-Tec at that moment. They came, and they saw the 3 guys there on the stoop, and they asked them, "What are you doing there?" And one of the guys said, "No, it's not us, it's not us." And Hi-Tec went to them, and they take out that torturing thing, and they tortured one of the guys, and the guy screamed. And they torture him again, and they scream. And they take that torturing thing and they beat the other one on the head with that thing.
Someone broke in the day before and stole my laptop and my camera and my hair straightener and a whole bunch of my jewellery. Nat heard something outside this window, and she looked down and there was a guy crawling along the floor. And so we called Hi-Tec and said, "There's a guy in our garden," and they were here in literally like 10 seconds. It was ridiculous, and they caught the guy. Then they started beating him up, which was really hectic. He was screaming, and it was horrible to watch. I don't condone violence at all, and I was really upset by the whole experience. Hi-Tec came the next day and said to us, they knew the guy. They'd caught him so many times. He just goes in and out of jail and just steals all the time, and it must be so difficult for them to have to catch these guys over and over and over again, and nothing's done about it. So in one sense, I don't know, maybe that's the only response that they have, you know, to have some sort of impact. And in another sense, what else is going to stop these guys from doing anything if they're not being caught? Maybe violence is the only answer.
Advocate Jock McConaughey explains the legalities surrounding this issue.
Everyone I've mentioned, from a citizen through to someone in the position of Hi-Tec, and obviously the police, can exercise force in effecting arrest, but it has to be proportionate. It has to be necessary degree of force. If the person is unarmed, they are compliant or cooperative, and you smack them around or kick them or do whatever, then you are very definitely putting yourself in Hi-Tec, or anyone else for that matter, even a policeman, if it's unnecessary, would be exposing themselves to a civil claim and possibly even, as I said, a criminal charge of assault.
2 street children recount being beaten by Hi-Tec. We were shocked that Hi-Tec engaged in such brutality.
They take us to the FM. Sometimes they beat us, or sometimes they give us a paper spray and they leave us there. We're supposed to walk back home. When you're there, you can see the lights of here in town. Then they come back in town. When I go to the police station, they not take our cases. You see, they said we must come with our families and we open the case. Sometimes they're in the Botanic Garden. They take us also there. They said we must go inside the water and they throw us with the stones. I can't swim, my sister. They just come to the packers. They know no one is gonna talk if they hit the packers. Maybe you can call another securities. Maybe they're not gonna be paid to us. They will speak nice with us.
When did they see us here, they take everyone. They put on the back of that parkies and go through the FM. Yeah, they beat us when they our head. Get inside, get inside. When we are get inside, when we are there at FM, they opened the car and then they said one by one, you must come one by one. So you know when you come out, it's gonna beat you and you go run, you're trying, and next come, put the pepper spray and beat you see.
We discover the place Hi-Tec allegedly takes criminals and homeless people, FM Pole.
We're all feeling a little bit conflicted about our stance on violence and Hi-Tec's use of it.
I was all for violence as a preventative measure of violence. And now, after speaking to some of the street children that we've spoken to and about their stories coming here to FM Pole, I'm starting to change my perspective a little bit.
Throughout this process, having patrolled with Hi-Tec, and I've seen how all the great things that they do for people in Grahamstown, that confused me. And now, talking to all these street kids about being brought here to FM Pole has confused me even further.
Our trip to FM Pole was a turning point. We wonder whether Hi-Tec's strategy is viable long term.
That kind of situation can easily collapse into outright sadism. It's already clearly collapsed into thuggery. I mean, in legal terms, that's straightforward criminality, and anyone who behaves like that should be arrested and brought to court. Relations of violence that were used to protect privilege under apartheid, and which were then mediated through the state primarily, have now been mediated more through private power. But that doesn't make them more just.
Throughout this investigation, we have felt like violence is sometimes necessary. However, some residents who have been victims of crime think violence is the only solution.
I'm so angry, I just want to hit him once. And Hi-Tec just said, do it, there's no one watching. They also tasered him while he was on the floor. When they caught him, 4 Hi-Tec guards arrived and they started kicking him, and he carried on saying, please don't kick me, my injury, my injury. They beat him up and they were kicking him on the floor, and they tasered him until he actually shat in his pants.
Armed with our new knowledge, we ask Hi-Tec for comment on whether they do beat people at FM Pole.
Nah, it's not true. I don't know, a lot of stories go around, but it's not like that. Maybe it happened before, I can't say, but not under my time. We always say about the FM Tower, even the police say, because it's quite a known place, so just normally to scare the suspect that we catch, we say, now we're going to drop you off at the FM Tower, and just to make them scared, but we'll never do that. Our vehicles can't go that far out of town just to drop someone off. Because if something happens in town where they are, you can't go that far. So a lot of people say we beat them, but it's not like that. If you arrest someone, you have to take necessary force. We'll use force to arrest the person, but we won't beat him afterwards and that type of stuff.
Throughout this journey, we have realized that we are both for and opposed to violence. This ambiguity has left citizens afraid to take a stand against violence in case their safety is jeopardized. As Grahamstown's crime levels rise, so will violent methods to combat it.